So, there I was, just minding my own business, sitting in the desert, and watching YouTube videos. And I heard this strange sound, so I looked out the window, and there I saw it. A huge, 100-foot tall dust devil, just heading right towards me. Didn't have a lot of time to react. I didn't even have a chance to get the camera out and take a picture of it. But then it hit. The motorhome started rocking like crazy, you know. And then it just passed on by. So then I went out and I checked for damage. Well, I wasn't expecting any damage. I mean, it's mostly just dust anyway, and air. And I've gone through windstorms much stronger than that, though not as concentrated. Well, if you've watched any of my previous videos and seen the outside of the motorhome, you may notice that I had a solar panel propped up outside to catch the morning and evening sun. Well, when I checked, I found the solar panel was laying on the ground flat with some gravel covering it. And when I looked closer, well, this is what I saw. All the glass completely shattered. Not gone, just shattered. Some big pieces taken out too, but the glass is still there. Now the thing about this is, even though the glass was still there, it was very rough and sharp. Matter of fact, I need a few band-aids after checking that out. But it still worked. I still had power coming out of it. Probably not as much as before, but I need to do something about the shattered glass. So I went online and I checked things out, and I got this tip to I needed to coat the solar panel with a exterior grade polyurethane. So I spread that across here and let it cure, and of course, as you can see, I can now touch the surface without getting my hand sliced apart. But what am I going to do about this? I mean, it works, but I'm thinking maybe I have a better solution to this. Well, this is what I did. I donated my 100-watt solar panel to my brother for a solar project. And I waited on eBay until I found a really good price on a couple of 60-watt panels. And I built myself my own suitcase portable solar panel system. I went to the hardware store and I got some your average everyday hinges and my rivets, and I did a rivet job on there and had to add a little extra washer to compensate for the opening of the hinge. And as for handles, well, I found an old dog leash, cut a couple pieces and used some screws to screw them into place. Has hardly cost anything at all. Now the solar panels didn't come with wires built in, so I had to wire them up myself. Standard 12 gauge wiring, and I kept my solar charge controllers just cheap 10 amp. They don't cost much anyway. When I also kept my same connectors, so they will match the cables that I have here. And as for legs, I got these 3/4 inch aluminum square tubes, and I got some hinges up here. They weren't exactly designed for this, but I found one that would work, and I pop riveted those on as well. And to keep the legs from flying all over the place, Velcro. The simple strips of Velcro. And as for the length of the tube, well, it came out to about the right angle. Although I do have some other pieces of aluminum that I can insert into the tubing here, and I can drill holes along the side and put a pin in if I want to make the legs longer. But so far it's not necessary. Now, I've said before that I'm kind of a cheap guy. Well, let's say thrifty. But the cost of building this little 120 watt portable solar panel was less than I can buy online, and wasn't all that hard to do, actually. And despite the 100 watt solar panel, it's it's actually heavier than the 100 watt solar panel, but it's smaller when folded up and easier to store away, which is kind of nice when you're in a motorhome and your space is heavily limited. It also gives me another 20 watts of solar power, and you know, in the winter, as much solar power as possible when the sun is low. So, you know, sometimes doing things yourself is better than slapping down a credit card and saying, "Gimme." And while I'm out in the desert, I'm gonna be a little more attentive as to what the weather is doing, or the wind, because I really don't want this new solar panel to be a victim of a dust devil like the last one did.